You know what's wild? Most people spend their entire lives chasing happiness like it's hiding somewhere far away, when in truth, it's whispering to them every single day, not in grand achievements, not in money or praise, but in small, ordinary moments we keep walking past. Let me tell you something, healing doesn't come from ignoring your pain. It comes from learning to let joy exist beside it. The little joys you practice every day, they're not luxuries, they're lifelines. I've met people who've been through heartbreak, betrayal, deep loss, and yet there's a certain light in them. They laugh easily, they love softly. They're not untouched by pain. They've just learned to make happiness part of their healing ritual. And that's what I want for you. Not a perfect life. Not a life where you never cry, but a life where every day you choose one small act of joy, because joy is a form of resistance. It's how you tell your pain, you don't owe me. Every moment you choose gratitude over bitterness, connection over withdrawal, laughter over cynicism. You stitch a piece of your soul back together. So as we go through these daily happiness habits, I want you to listen not with your head, but with your heart. Feel the truth in them. Because happiness isn't an event, it's a rhythm, it's a heartbeat. And when you start aligning your life to that rhythm, slowly, gently, you realize something beautiful. You were never broken beyond repair. You were just waiting to remember your light. Before the world rushes in with its noise, opinions, and expectations, there's a sacred space that belongs only to you. It's the silence before the storm, the breath before the day begins. And that's where healing starts. When you wake up, don't reach for your phone, don't scroll. Don't let the world's chaos set the tone for your spirit. Instead, sit in stillness, feel your breath, place your hand on your heart and whisper, I'm here, I'm alive. And that's enough for now. That tiny moment of being fully present with yourself isn't just mindfulness, it's self-respect. It's telling your soul you matter before the world asks you to perform. Stillness is where the noise inside you begins to quiet. It's where you hear the whispers of your own heart, what it needs, what it fears, what it's longing for. You can't heal what you don't acknowledge. Stillness lets you listen, and yes, I know, it's uncomfortable at first. Silence can feel heavy. It brings up everything you've buried under distraction. But that's the point. Healing asks you to face what you've run from, not to punish you, but to free you. So start with 2 minutes, then 5, then 10. Sit in the quiet and let your breath guide you back home. That's where happiness begins, not in doing, but in being. The world glorifies hustle, but your soul, it craves peace. And when you begin your day anchored in stillness, the storms of life can shake you, but they can't unroot you, because healing doesn't happen in chaos. It happens in the quiet moments you dare to be with yourself. Gratitude isn't just saying thank you. It's the language of the healed heart, the voice of someone who's decided to see light even when the room feels dark. It's the quiet defiance of pain that says, you may have scarred me, but you will not define me. Every single day, I want you to find 3 small things. Tiny, ordinary moments that made your soul breathe. Maybe it was the way sunlight hit your window. Maybe it was your child's laughter, a warm sip of tea, or a text that reminded you someone still cares. You see, gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's still here. It doesn't deny your pain, it balances it. It teaches you that joy and sorrow can coexist, and that noticing the good is not denial, it's healing. Our brains are wired to detect threats, to protect us from pain. But your soul needs beauty to survive. Gratitude is how you feed that need. It's the daily act of choosing light over shadow, and here's the truth, you can't be bitter and grateful at the same time. When gratitude rises, bitterness loses its grip. Slowly, gently, the ache softens. You begin to breathe differently. Life starts to look less like a burden and more like a gift you're learning to unwrap. Write it down, whisper it out loud, feel it in your bones. Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for another chance. Happiness isn't the absence of pain. It's the presence of appreciation. And gratitude, done daily, intentionally, becomes a balm. It doesn't erase your wounds. It teaches them how to heal with grace. Because every thank you you whisper is a reminder to your soul, I'm still here. I still have reasons to smile. If you could hear the way you talk to yourself, would you still call it love? Because here's the truth. Most of us speak to ourselves in ways we'd never speak to someone we care about. We tear ourselves apart in silence and then wonder why our hearts feel unsafe inside our own bodies. Healing cannot live where shame is loud. And happiness cannot grow in the soil of self-criticism. You cannot hate yourself into healing. You can only love yourself there. Every day, I want you to catch one harsh thought. Just one, maybe it's, I'm not enough, or I should have done better. When it shows up, pause, replace it with compassion. Whisper, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm doing my best, and that's okay. This isn't pretending everything's fine. It's choosing to stop being your own enemy. It's standing in front of the mirror and deciding to treat yourself like someone worth saving, because you are. And as I know it's hard, especially if you've spent years being told otherwise. But here's what I've learned. The words you speak to yourself shape your reality. They build the atmosphere your soul breathes in. So when you speak to yourself with gentleness, reprogramming your inner world, you're telling your heart, you are safe with me. And that changes everything. When you shift your inner dialogue from judgment to kindness, you begin to heal in ways that therapy, success, or validation never could, because you're no longer fighting yourself. You're finally coming home to yourself. So today, speak softly to your own heart. Let it know it's loved, even when it's tired, even when it's messy. That's how you turn pain into peace. That's how you create happiness that lasts. There's a kind of healing that only happens in the presence of safe people, those who see you, hear you, and hold space for your truth without trying to fix it. You know, the kind I'm talking about, the people whose energy feels like an exhale, the ones who remind you that you don't have to perform to be worthy of love. Every soul needs connection to heal. We are wired for it. We are built to belong. And yet somewhere along the way, many of us learn to shrink, to hide our tenderness, to toughen up in order to survive. But healing requires softness, and softness needs safety. I want you to start noticing who brings you peace and who steals it, who leaves you feeling full and who leaves you feeling empty. Healing accelerates when you choose relationships that honor your boundaries instead of breaking them. Don't chase people who make you question your worth. Stay close to the ones who remind you of it. Happiness doesn't live in popularity. It lives in authenticity. It's in those late night talks that make your heart unclench, in the quiet company of someone who lets you be fully human without judgment. Sometimes healing means walking away, not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect. It means choosing to surround yourself with people who add warmth to your life instead of coldness. You deserve that kind of circle. You deserve that kind of love. And let me tell you something beautiful. When you start choosing peace over drama, depth over noise, you'll begin to notice your nervous system settling, your laughter returning, your soul expanding. Connection heals what isolation cannot. Love, real gentle love, reminds you that you were never meant to heal alone. Your body has carried you through every heartbreak, every loss, every long night you thought you wouldn't survive. It's been your home, even when you hated living in it. And if you want to heal your soul, you must start by making peace with your body. We live in a culture that tells us movement is a punishment, a way to earn food, to fix flaws, to chase perfection. But your body doesn't need fixing. It needs listening, it needs love, it needs movement that feels like gratitude, not guilt. When you move your body, don't do it to shrink yourself. Do it to celebrate yourself. Dance in your kitchen. Stretch when you wake up. Take a walk just to feel the wind on your skin. Let movement be a reminder that you are alive. Healing through movement isn't about fitness, about freedom. It's about feeling your strength return, your breath deepen, your heart expand. It's about reclaiming the parts of you that trauma tried to silence, because when you move, you're not just exercising muscles. You're releasing memories, emotions, stories your body's been holding onto for years. You're telling yourself, I'm safe now. I can feel again. This is how happiness begins to live inside you again, not because you've reached a goal, but because you've stopped fighting yourself. So the next time you move, do it gently. Don't ask your body to perform. Ask it to participate in your healing. Let it lead you back to joy. One breath, one step, one dance at a time. And remember, the way you treat your body is the way you teach your soul to trust you. Move like you're grateful for another day to feel, to live, to begin again. Your body is not the enemy. It's the bridge back to your joy. When life feels heavy, when the noise in your mind gets too loud, there's one place that always how to hold you, nature. The earth has this quiet, powerful way of reminding us that healing isn't something we rush. It's something to allow. Step outside, feel the air brush against your skin, watch how the trees sway without needing permission. Listen to the birds. They don't sing because everything's perfect. They sing because as they can. We forget sometimes that we, too, are part of this rhythm. that the same force keeping the ocean in motion also beats inside our chests. When you walk under an open sky, when you stand barefoot on grass, something deep inside you remembers peace. It's not something you earn, it's something you return to. You don't need grand gestures. Sit by a window with sunlight warming your face, smell the rain, watch the clouds drift. Let the wind carry your worries for a while. Nature doesn't judge. It doesn't ask you to be productive. It just invites you to be. And here's the beauty of it. Nature models healing in its purest form. Trees lose their leaves and still stand tall. Flowers bloom after every storm. Rivers keep flowing even when their path is rough. That's resilience. That's grace. If you want to remember how to breathe again, let nature teach you. Let it remind you that everything, including you, has a season. That even after the coldest winters of your life, you will bloom again, because happiness isn't always loud or visible. Sometimes it's quiet, like sunlight through leaves or the way the world smells after rain. And in those small, sacred moments, your soul whispers, this is what peace feels like. One of the hardest lessons in healing is this: not everything broken can be fixed by you. Some situations, some people, some endings, you can't mend them no matter how hard you try, and that truth hurts deeply. But the moment you stop gripping what's beyond your power, peace starts to return. We hold on because we think control keeps us safe. We think if we just try harder, love deeper, explain better, things will finally go our way. But all that clinging does is exhaust the soul. It keeps your heart living in the past and your mind fighting battles that were never yours to win. Letting go isn't giving up, it's choosing freedom. It's saying, I can't change this, but I can choose how it changes me. That's real power. That's emotional maturity. Start by asking yourself, what am I holding that's holding me back? Maybe it's resentment. Maybe it's a version of someone you wish existed. Maybe it's guilt for not being able to fix it all. Whatever it is, breathe it out. You are allowed to release it. Here's the truth most people don't tell you. You can't heal in a clenched state. Healing requires open hands. When you release what's not yours to carry, you make room for what is peace, clarity, and grace. And yes, letting go will hurt at first. It always does. But slowly, the ache becomes lighter. You start to feel air in your lungs again. You realize that you never needed control. You needed trust. Trust in timing. Trust in yourself. Trust that what's meant for you will find its way, even if you stop chasing it. Healing begins the moment you stop asking why and start whispering, thank you. Because surrender isn't weakness. It's how the soul breathes again. Healing doesn't only happen in the sunlight of morning. It also unfolds quietly in the soft glow of night when the world slows down, when everything grows still. Your soul finally has space to speak. And that's when reflection becomes your most powerful tool for happiness. Before you go to sleep, take a few moments to look back, not to judge yourself, but to witness yourself. Ask, what did I feel today? What I learned, what can I let go of before tomorrow? These simple questions invite awareness, and awareness is the birthplace of healing. You don't have to write pages. Even a few sentences whispered into the dark can be sacred. Today was hard, but I showed up. I felt seen. I forgave myself a little more. This is not just reflection. It's reconciliation. It's how you tell your soul, I see you, I'm proud of you, I'm with you. Too often we rush from one day to the next, carrying the emotional weight of unfinished feelings. Reflection is how you put that weight down. It teaches you to pause, to extract meaning from your moments, and to close the day with gratitude rather than guilt. And here's the beautiful part. When you reflect gently, not harshly, you stop demanding perfection from yourself. You begin to appreciate your own effort, your own resilience. You start to see progress where you once only saw pain. And your day, like you would a conversation with someone you love, with kindness, with grace, with the awareness that even if today wasn't perfect, it was yours. You lived it, you felt it, you grew through it. And when you fall asleep with peace in your heart, instead of pressure on your chest, that's not just rest, that's healing in motion. That's the soul whispering, we're getting there. If there's one truth I want to leave with you, it's this: healing isn't a destination, it's a daily decision. Every morning you wake up, you're offered two choices: repeat the pain or rewrite the story. Choosing joy doesn't mean pretending life is perfect. It means finding reasons to smile within the imperfections. It's that quiet, sacred decision to say, yes, this hurts, but I'm still here and I'm still open to joy. There will be days when happiness feels far away, days when your heart feels like it's made of lead, But remember, joy isn't always fireworks and laughter. Sometimes it's the small relief of a deep breath, the comfort of your favorite song, the warmth of someone's hand in yours. Your healing will ask for courage, the courage to open your heart again, to risk disappointment, to believe in better days. But that's where your power lies, because every time you choose joy, you're choosing yourself. You're declaring, my past may have shaped me, but it will not define my future. And slowly, through these tiny intention choices, stillness, gratitude, self-kindness, connection, movement, nature, surrender, reflection, you begin to rebuild a relationship with your own soul, one based not on survival, but on love. So today and every day after, wake up and whisper to yourself, I will look for light. I will create it if I can't find it. I will not let the dark parts of my story steal the beauty of my becoming. Because real healing isn't the absence of pain, it's the return of joy. And when you start living that truth, you'll realize something profound. You were never chasing happiness. You were uncovering it. It's been inside you all along, waiting for the moment you'd finally let yourself feel it again. May you wake each day remembering this. You are not broken. You are becoming. In your becoming lies the purest form of happiness your soul will ever know.